hello everybody, and welcome to this Facebook Live, or as I like to call it, Facebook Love. As we all just kind of pour on the line, and hello, everyone's just kind of coming on. Come on, say your name and where you're calling from, and we'll just give a moment for let all of our friends and family come on this line. If you can, in the note screen, if you can let me know if you can hear me. Good, okay. And my sound engineer just let me know he can hear me, so I'm just going to turn off my phone, and just like every soul gathering, let's turn off our phones. Oh my goodness, what an event we're going to have right now. And I just want to start as we let everyone come on the line and let you know how much I honor you, respect, and love you. This is the ascension. This is ascension in progress. And I honor you as one of many light workers who is helping supporting the transformation of humanity, as well as uplifting Mother Earth into a new 5D consciousness. So as we begin to make this an extra sacred and intentional moment together. And by the way, I'm glad to know that the timing of this makes it so that for those of us who are doing the global meditation, I know a lot of you are, I'm glad that there's perfect time for you to do everything. So let's start with an intention. As you're sitting here and we get ready to welcome the transmission of healing energy that I offer, I want you to set 3 intentions, and we'll do it one step at a time. We'll do one for you personally, one for your family, and one for humanity. So let's start with the first one. And just silently or out loud, wherever you're sitting, answer this question. With this healing energy I'm receiving, what do I wish to have personally transformed by the universe? No matter what it is for you personally, this one is just for you. You could write it in the notes section, or you can just say it out loud or silently hold it in your heart. What do you wish for this healing energy I'm transmitting to transform in your life personally? I'll just hold for a moment to let you answer that question. And to everyone writing in the notes here, welcoming me, sending so much love, I love you too. Next question. With this healing energy I'm transmitting, what do you wish for this healing energy to transform for your family? It could be for someone in particular. It could be for every member of your family, or even all of your ancestry. It can be as incredible as you make it. With this healing energy that I'm transmitting, what do you wish it to do for your family? God, the energy pouring in is so amazing right now. It's heavenly angelic perfection, so I call this frequency. And the last intention, with this healing energy I'm transmitting to you, what do you wish it to transform for the world? So much happening in the world right now. And all I'm asking, someone just ping-ponged me, is to set an intention for what this healing energy I'm transmitting. What do you wish it to do for the world? I'm the transmitter, and you're the conductor using your intention to guide it in the direction of your deepest desire. This is how we work together. With this healing energy, what shall it offer you personally? What shall it offer your family? And what shall it offer humanity? As we state these intentions, I welcome you to my first ever global soul gathering through Facebook Live. I'm here in my office. I welcome you into my home, wearing one of my nicest flannels for you. You can see my cookbooks in the back. I have quite a collection, and a few of my books that got translated into different languages are framed. It's always fun to look at that and to honor the path life has chosen to move through me. And I welcome you into this most auspicious time in history. And when we think about the title of this program, Surviving the Unthinkable, on one level, of course, what has happened in life is unthinkable. And for some, it's going to be unthinkable in terms of what they've lost in their livelihoods. For others, it's unthinkable to think about a virus taking the lives of so many beings. But to others, perhaps such as yourself, the unthinkable is the thinkable opportunity that this is giving humanity to shift and transition into 5D consciousness. So the theme of this transmission is the unthinkable, miraculous joy that I wish to awaken and give you permission to embody as an anchor of light who is here holding space for the transformation of an entire planet. So if you find yourself feeling excited for what is being birthed and not lost in the fear of what's being unraveled, I want you to know you're not wrong in feeling that way. And it's not wrong for those that are steeped in fear, who are going through the process of feeling in their nervous system. Oh, got big bugged again. Who are feeling in their nervous system the radical adjustment that's being made. Oftentimes, there are usually two reasons for fear, none of which has anything to do with the thing you think you're afraid of. Usually, fear has to do with if we spend too much time desiring and seeking our desires and not making enough time to be grateful for what we have. Not enough gratitude and too much desire often creates an energetic imbalance that creates a residue of fear in your energy field. And also, if you're going through a transformation that is happening with a tremendous amount of intensity over a short period of time, the fast pace of your evolution, or how quickly you are going from one level of consciousness to the next, will trigger your nervous system. And that will bring up a sensation that is interpreted as fear and anxiety. But it is often just a sign of how quickly you are expanding from one level of consciousness to the next. And of course, the part of you that is in fear is the ego. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, because without an ego, there's nothing to integrate. And with nothing to integrate, there's no way to transform the world. And that's why we were born, to transform this world together as one, so that Earth can become a planet where heaven, in its fully realized glory, can experience itself as the light of all, with all of its senses to know itself. And as we begin, and as I just hold space and let the energy pour through, not just through my words, but through the presence that is here, I want to start this with a moment of remembrance. A moment of remembrance where you remember who you really are, which is the exact space I speak to you from. In this moment, it becomes that much more palpable and obvious that the speaker and listener are one and the same. I am the light of all, just like you. And so let us begin this moment of remembrance by just drinking in these beautiful words. You are the light of all, who has been born in a body to remember itself. You are the light that doesn't have to fit in, for all things fit into the light already. You are the light that doesn't have to blend in, for all things already blend into your light. On the highest level, you are the light that doesn't have to heal, for all healing already occurs in the presence of your light. You are the light that doesn't have to hold back, for all sensations of holding back are just innocent ways we unknowingly hold back our light. You are the light that knows no fear. And if they are fears, it could only be a fear of your own light. You are the light that casts no shadows. For if there are shadows, it is only the light in the process of remembering itself in one form or another. You are the light that doesn't have to be perfect, for all forms of perfection are the natural state of the light you've always been and shall always be. You are the light that doesn't need to worry, for all worries are just innocent ways of forgetting the light that you are. And in this moment of remembrance, of remembering that you are the light of all things, it brings to us the central theme of the ascension timeline. The essential theme is not battling with what you're not, but taking time to remember and get to know the light you've always been. And so much of the spiritual journey to this point has been about clearing out the distractions, clearing out the shadow, and clearing out the dark, hoping that when you've done enough work, you'll be rewarded with more light. But I'm here to shift and transition you into a different journey, a higher journey, a journey where you start as the light, not further a path where it's somewhere up ahead, and not the end result of endless spiritual busy work. You are the light of heaven, always existing in your holiest, most exquisite, perfect, radiant form. And you have come to this planet willingly forgetting the light that you are, guaranteed to remember it over a period of time, so that the others in this planet you are interconnected to can remember the light inside of them as you continue to wake up as the light that you are. So in this new paradigm that I'm inviting you into, it's a paradigm of all remembrance. All remembrance. To be the light that already exists in all things, and not getting confused within the shell or body in which you inhabit. And isn't that the most interesting thing that happened when we came to this planet as very young children, newborn infants? As we were born as the light, but without the singular awareness that we are that light. Here's the innocence shining our light. And then we found ourselves in families that we tried to blend or fit into. And we innocently tried to fit into our family's belief system, or the belief system of this society, or with people you went to school with. And we only tried to fit in so that as we create connections with others, those people would benefit from the light that we shine the moment it's time to wake up. And throughout this process, we've all gotten a little lost in every day trying to make sure that we are fitting in to those around us, as if other people's approval is somehow going to give us the worthiness that only comes from within when remembering that you are the light of all things. And of course, so many of us have experiences of not feeling totally fed, seen, or valued by other people. And so it is the ability for us in this new paradigm to go inward and to make sure that we are the source of our own worthiness, so that we can take the time to get to know ourselves as the light within all things, so that we can participate in transforming the circumstance for other people. And so in this transmission, I want to offer you, of course, whatever comes through, but the theme will be getting to know the light that you are. And as that light, because that's what a light worker is, one who knows themselves as the light and intentionally and purposefully shines that light for the benefit of others. And of course, when we think about that, the real good question is, what does it actually mean to be a light worker, and how does that work on a day-to-day basis? But before we go there, I want to be able to offer you a really interesting point. Since you are the light of all things, in order to help you find your way back to that light and to know yourself as that light, I want to share with you the main attribute of light. There is something the light does all the time instinctively. And when you know what that thing is that the light does all the time, it can radically transform your life on a few different levels. The light always and only exists to do one thing: to add value to anything around it. And of course, anything around the light are just things within the light. You look at the world around you, it's actually the world within you, but it's being projected out like a hologram so you can have an experience of it. And no matter what your experience of it, it is the light that you are, simply molded into static form. But the light, no matter what shape anything in the light takes, the light only exists to add greater value. And when we really take that to heart, it's really, really transformative, because on one level, you now know anything coming into my life that I manifest, whether I focused on it consciously or not, anything that comes my way, whether it's a chance encounter with a new partner, whether it's a new job opportunity or the manifestation of coronavirus and the need to self-quarantine, because the light, as the source of all things, only exists to add greater value, this experience we are all having is only being had to add greater value to all of our lives. And it is our free will to decide how much value will we allow the light to offer us. First and foremost, by perceiving it as an opportunity to receive more value. to bring more value to our choices, to increase the value of our perceptions, and to be a more valued asset in the lives of those still finding their way. The light only exists to add greater value. So the old school notion that you have to try to get in control of manifestation, because a lot of people, again, manifestation is the law of attraction, but a law is something that functions whether your will is trying to assert it or not. That's one of the clever reasons why the phrase is the law of attraction. The law means this is a force of attraction that is happening all the time. But instead of you trying to control it, it's more about you harmonizing with it. In the fifth dimension, we're not people that are trying to control manifestation. We are those who honor and respect that things are only being manifested from the light within us, and that things could only add greater value to our lives because we're not judging the form it takes, we're honoring the light expressing it. And just in the transmission, the speaker and the listener are one and the same. And in manifestation, the source of creation and the subject receiving creation are one and the same. And a lot of the ways manifestation has been taught comes from a very superstitious and fear-based way. You gotta be in control of manifestation because you don't want anything bad to happen to you, right? Isn't that the story? I don't want to manifest something I wouldn't like, so I gotta make sure I'm always in control, but that's not how life works. And because everything is the light within all things, the only purpose to every moment in time is to wake up that light within all things so that all things can be transformed into their highest value of light. And so that helps us really understand something really big about reality. And it will help you let go of trying to control through manifestation, and instead just move in harmonious flow with the life that's already been manifested. And what will help you further deepen your relationship with the light that you are is knowing the truth of adversity. Adversity only manifests to further the awakening process. It doesn't manifest because your vibration is low. That's just a judgment the ego puts upon itself as it perceives itself as either the brightest light in existence or the most unredeemable. Oftentimes, the way we perceive vibration is just a spiritual reflection or echo of low self-esteem. And then we try to work on things spiritually to whip ourselves into shape and try to hold a high vibration, but it's coming from such a place of fear and superstition. Vibration is simply how much of the light of heaven's glory have you realized yourself to be. And we simply do healing work as a way of remembering the light that we are. So as a way of receiving greater value and the ability to perceive everything through the lens of the greatest value, to see everything as only greater value coming to you. And of course, to awaken and activate your divine presence so that you can only be of the greatest value in the lives of others, because the light only exists to add greater value. And when we have unworthiness, we are out of touch with the greatest value always within us. And this is what I wish to reunite you with right now. And instead of looking around the world and waiting for self-quarantine to be called off, instead of waiting for coronavirus to be swept away, we stop exactly where we are. And instead of identifying with the shell of our experience, the shell in which the light inhabits, we instead re-identify with the light within it. And since you are the light of all, and not the shell in which you inhabit. The awakening process is the true meaning of coming out of your shell. Just feel that. And since we know that the light only exists to add greater value, that means that anything coming your way is only going to bring greater value to you as its healing and evolutionary benefits are revealed. And sometimes that's going to please your ego, and a lot of times it won't. And that's okay. Because we're not here to always keep our egos happy. We're here to honor our egos as that which was created for us to integrate, knowing with every moment that the ego is integrated, more of our light shining. And since the light only exists to add greater value, that means the more of the light you remember yourself to be, the more your choices will be used in surrendered service to only add greater value to others. And this really brings about a really interesting question that I want to offer you, a question you can take in your heart and take wherever you go. So many light workers get into this very interesting thing of not knowing the right choice to make. And a lot of us get really confused about that because we don't know the right choice to make because we're preoccupied with believing that the right choice is going to make certain things happen. And that's not why we make choices. Instead, we surrender that the light that we are is doing all of this so miraculously and perfectly that you don't even know how you're manifesting all the things that come your way. You just allow the light that you are to do it on your behalf. But your invitation, your objective, your will, your opportunity is to, as often as possible, with no pressure on you, just more likely than not, are you making choices that add greater value to your life, to your body, and to the livelihoods of others? And this is how we can really get out of the thought of judgment and judging other options. We're not judging things good and bad and low vibration, high vibration. We're simply looking at our options and not choosing the options that don't add greater value into anyone's life. Knowing that even when you in your private life, when no one else is around you, even if you make a positive choice that brings more health and wellness into your body, because your body is interconnected to all bodies, your positive choice is now energy sent in all directions to increase the likelihood that other people will be inspired by that choice. So even a choice that fills your body with nutrition is simultaneously energy sent to all human beings to increase the likelihood that others will follow your example. So even when you're self-quarantining and you're not connecting with other people, the value of your choices makes you a hero in everyone's life when you understand this on a vibrational level. And so here's something that I just came up with a day or so ago. I call it the essential question. And it's a question that is essential in helping you make choices from the vibration of the light that you are. It's very simple. The essential question is, with this choice, sorry, I just got ping-ponged. With this choice, whose life am I improving? With this choice, whose life am I improving? Think about that, feel it. With this choice, whose life am I improving? And so isn't this in a magnificent way that we don't have to judge things as dark versus light? We can just be the light in all things and allow all things to remember the light when it's meant to. But in our lives, without trying to be perfect, we're just building relationships with choices that improve lives. And sometimes you'll be with other people, and the most appropriate choice you can make as the light is whatever choice offers improvement and value to the life of another person. And this is why the light doesn't judge another human being. It's not because the light went to spiritual finishing school and it knows better. The light doesn't judge because through judgment, whose life would you be improving? No one's. And the light only exists to add greater value into the lives of others, or even just yourself. The light has no association to fear, because whose life would you be improving? And so as light workers, our job is twofold. It is to use the power of our choices, that every choice we make has a vibrational value. And when you make choices that actually offer improvement into the lives of others, whether other people receive it, acknowledge it or not, that high vibrational choice adds a higher frequency energy to your energy field. And of course, even when you're just alone, loving yourself or breathing or allowing yourself to not be afraid of what's happening, all the high vibrational choices you make to improve and add greater value to your life are simultaneously always being delivered into the energy fields of all human beings simultaneously. So this transmission is helping you get out of this old timeline of constantly looking for darkness to clear, or constantly looking to expose myths, truths, or constantly looking at who in the socioeconomical sector is lying and who's telling the truth. And we don't resolve that. We transcend that. Because all of those storylines and form are all true. Every level of truth exists, and there are degrees of truth. There are small truths and there are big truths. But your job is to align and re-identify with the highest truth, because only the highest truth can add the highest value to your life, and only through the highest value offered through your remembrance as being the light of all can you inspire greater value in our lives, whether you're connected to people face to face or just self-quarantining, transforming the world on a vibrational level. And this is why in the new paradigm, those who are healing their unconsciousness at a slower pace, what is often pulling them down and weighing them down are various forms of addictions. Addictions to technology, addictions to emotional eating, addictions to relationships, sex, relationships, or addictions to alcohol, drugs. Even if one is doing plant medicine way too regularly. Addiction is not defined by, or it can be defined as either the overindulgence of something or just something that you do so frequently that it becomes a ritualistic pattern. And again, the foundation of addiction is here's what I do to mimic the sensations of well-being without reclaiming my power as the light. So addiction is how disempowerment soothes itself while unknowingly refusing to surrender into the remember that you are the light that only adds greater value to each and everything. And even each addiction that we've either overcome or are about to confront is adding greater value by giving you something to transcend, by raising the stakes and importance of how powerfully you utilize the choices at hand. The essential question asks you to look at your life in honor that it's April and that this is a form of spring cleaning. With this choice, whose life am I improving? With this breath, whose life am I improving? With this love, whose life am I improving? With this will, whose life am I improving? With this life, whose life am I improving? And even if there's no one else around me, the life I improve in my own reality simultaneously adds greater value and uplifts the circumstances of all sentient beings, because I am the light of all, not one in search of it. And so when we identify with the shell in which we inhabit as the light, instead of the light itself, as energetically sensitive souls and empaths, our energy is constantly healing other people. And what happens is we tend to identify with the things our energy are healing in other people instead of just releasing it. And again, your ego doesn't have to learn how to release. It's what your energy does naturally. When you are hiding in the shell of the body, perceiving adversity as something that's trying to attack you or take from you, instead of remembering, adversities only manifest to further the ascension process. And life is doing everything it can only to crack the shell of your ego to let your light be free. So every single aspect of what we are seeing in the world, coronavirus, self-quarantining, name it, is only bringing greater value to the planet to be the biggest cosmic hammer that cracks the shell of humanity and lets the light of heavenly glory shine in every direction. And as we stay at home, taking care of ourselves, loving our families, nurturing our inner children, and anchoring light for our beloved Mother Earth, the essential question I want you to bring to the forefront of as many choices as possible. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to intend to want to act from this space. And you just ask yourself, with this option, with this choice, whose life am I improving? And dare to look for choices that improve the value of your life, knowing everything that you uplift in yourself is always helping others, and all the things you do to help others are always uplifting yourself. This is the law of unity consciousness. And gratitude is the force through which we recognize anything I see is only adding greater value for the evolutionary benefits of anyone's awakening. And gratitude is more freely available the more you use your choices to add greater value and improve the circumstances of others or just yourself. This is what it means to be a light worker. And to even raise the stakes of being a light worker, you can set intentions for every choice you make. Even if you're going to make a choice that, if we were honest, was more self-destructive than self-improving, you can always add an intention and say, and with this choice, may the universe deliver more light to the planet. And as you take a bite of food, with this bite, may more nourishment enter the bodies of all beings. May all beings have the opportunity to be fed right now with every bite I take. With every breath I take, may the consciousness of mankind awaken to its highest potential. So as light workers, who are the physical deliverers of the well-being the light is always offering to all things, we are making sure that our choices, more often than not, are always improving circumstances of ourselves or others. And we set intentions for everything we do, no matter how inconsequential or small it seems, to always bring greater value to all sentient beings. And may it begin with me. So to really dial this in, let's try to repeat after me. I'm just being mindful of the time because I want to make sure that there's enough time for everyone to do all the activities today. So let's try this as a repeat after me. I accept that I am the light within all things, not the shell in which I inhabit. And as the light of all, I only exist to bring greater value to anything around me. Because anything around me are simply creations existing within me. And as the light that only brings greater value to all, I accept this light as my true self. It is a light that doesn't have to fit in to family, to world, to society. For family, world, and society are all the things that already fit in me. And as this light, I intend to bring greater value into my personal reality and to be the best example to others still awakening. And without any pressure put on myself, I allow myself to resonate with the choices and options that only delivers greater value into my heart and that improves the lives of others. For what I'm doing for myself, I'm doing to humanity, for humanity, on behalf of humanity. I don't have to be afraid of judging or fearing or getting lost in unconsciousness. Because unconsciousness only exists for those unaware of the light. And since I'm very aware of the light, I must not be as unconscious as maybe I thought I was. Maybe those were just innocent beliefs my ego had about me to give it something to do. And in knowing it is so, I allow all false beliefs, all misunderstandings, all assumptions, all superstitions, all illusions, all lies, all misunderstandings, throughout all dimensions, time and space, to be cleared out of my energy field, return to the source of its origin, transmuted completely, and healed to completion now. I don't have to, from this moment forward, we'll continue to repeat after me. From this moment forward, I don't have to track, monitor, or worry about judgment. Judgment is irrelevant from this space. It's irrelevant because it doesn't add greater value to anyone's life. So why would that be an option? I don't have to spend time being afraid. whose life would I be improving? I don't have to fight being unhealthy, because health is just another way of delivering greater value into my life and the lives of all. And as the light within all things, if I have a negative thought, it is only a belief I'm transmuting in the world around me. If I have a difficult feeling, it is only a pattern of density I'm transforming in the world around me. If I'm emotionally triggered, it is just stuck energy I've stored from the past, leaping out to be healed. And the more I know myself as the light, the more it can be released instead of being projected onto others. And so in this moment, I know this is a long repeat after me, in this moment, I don't have to identify with any negativity in mind or any pain I feel, because none of it's in the way of anything. I am only the light in all things, only existing to add greater value to anything in sight. So whatever I obsessively think is only orbiting until I acknowledge that I am the light clearing this for all. If emotions get triggered, I am the light that clears this for all. If I see atrocity in the world, I am the light resolving this for all. Feel what it's like to be liberated out of the spiritual dream. Not just the human dream, the spiritual dream. I have all these things to work on, to clear, and once I do that, then I'll be. You wake up out of that. Oh my God, I'm already the light. I'm not someone with negative thinking. This is how my crown chakra releases it. And it only orbits because I think it belongs to me. If I just sat and surrendered, its only instinct is to move through me and back to source. I don't have to be in charge of that. Whatever I'm feeling is only what my light is transmuting for the world. And I'm only being reminded of what I'm clearing mentally and what I'm clearing emotionally for the world, because the universe is begging me, is begging us to feel good of how our power is only adding greater value and transformation to everything in sight. But we've been under the misunderstanding that we are these fallible, unworthy characters who have to do all this deep, rigid work before we can honor ourselves with such esteem. That ends right now, because the world needs us. The world's awakening, and the world has been thrust into a collective global dark night of the soul. And this is where our light is needed. And I'm calling the light forward in all of us, in you. And you don't have to leave your house. The reason the world is self-quarantining is so that we can remember that vibrationally we don't have to do anything or go anywhere, but just let the remembrance of our light and the ability to bring greater value through our choices to lead the way. The light doesn't work on itself. The light is itself. And yet, the remembrance of your light is a process that happens in time. There are many layers to it. There is a spiritual path. It's just not one where you're under a microscope dissecting yourself into little pieces. And as we are remembering that we are the light within all things, on behalf of our awakening humanity, in support of this 444 portal, which of course 444 means angels are surrounding you. But angels only surround other light beings, and you are the light of all. So in honor of our awakening humanity, in which coronavirus is just one part of a storyline of humanity's new world, new consciousness, new reality, try these words with me as a repeat after me. As the light of all things, always shining the radiant vibration of holy, angelic, immaculate perfection. Please remind me now of the light I am. And as this light is being remembered, as the light of all, I allow all manifestations of coronavirus, all patterns and realities of human sex trafficking, injustice, shadow, ego, competition, separation, conflict and war, scarcity and persecution, memories of atrocity throughout all timelines, dimension, time, and space, along with all hurt and sorrow, pain and tragedy, misuse of power and falls from grace. Lies, deception, and issues of control to all be cleared out of this energy field, this body, mind, heart, and soul, and all bodies, minds, hearts, and souls, and all energy fields. Return to the source of its origin once and for all. Transmuted completely and healed to completion now. As of this moment, I declare the light I am as the only truth in existence, as the only reality that shall be. And instead of getting lost in other people's energy and identifying with what my energy is clearing in others, I command this world right now to reveal and reflect to me the light I am. As I radiate a vibration of light in all directions within an infinite mile radius, returning anything and everything to the light that it is, as I am now. And if I see adversity, may I remember. Adversities only manifest to further the awakening process. As I remain thankful and grateful that in the light of my almighty presence, the light within me heals and transforms each adversity. As I dare to observe it in consciousness. I am so thankful and grateful that I am only seeing and aware of the things my light transforms. And now that I know that, I allow all things to transform now and return to the light I am. I am 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 the light I am. And as of this moment, on April 4th, 2020, at precisely 7:28 p.m. Pacific, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I am declaring this world an awakening expression of light, and declare and command all things to return to the light that dwells within all. I declare this planet an awakening world, where things only crack open so more light can shine. And whatever storyline plays out in the world around us from this moment forward, we honor it, we perceive it as light, and let the journey of other creations remember its light on its own time table. Others may take more time to remember it, but you can commune and connect with the light in all. Now that we declare the light to be who you are, who I am, and what all of this has always been and will always be, no matter the storyline playing out. As of this moment, on behalf of the Galactic Council, we no longer wait for the storyline to be complete before we realize the light we are. We invoke the light And we declare that this world is now a world of light. I declare that every person walking this planet is a person of light. And anything other than or less than the light is transmuted now. And any policies, patterns, responses, beliefs, anything not bringing greater value to all, not of the light, is transmuted immediately and returned to source now. We are now in the ascension timeline. We anchor the light and we bring greater value to ourselves and to others and get to know the light that's always shining brightly within you. We are surviving the unthinkable miracle of remembering the light that you are. And from this moment forward, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, we are assuring that everything's going to be better, immediately better. You will start seeing things differently. You will start feeling differently for no other reason because you've opened the door to identify with the light instead of dancing with shadows that are only waiting to be sent home just as soon as you remember how brightly you shine. I am the light that you are, and you are the light that I am. And together as one, this earth is ascending. And there is no other option but victory for the light. Victory of the light I am, victory of the light you are, victory of the light that is the truth in all things. This is humanity's reset. This is your brand new beginning. And may every different, more magnificent, more incredible, more miraculous for you from this moment forward, now that you have received the initial remembrance of the light that you are. I know we'll come together again and we'll take the next step. But for right now, bask in the glory of your light and let us celebrate the 444 angelic portal. Blessed be the light that you are. Victory to the light I am. I love you all. Namaste.